Hey, what's up, Moyo Nation? It's a stormy day, but I'm still gonna run hard. Doesn't make any difference to me. I'm still out here because I'm gonna make the most of every opportunity. And let's say again that power phrase I've given you this week. We will turn fail into fuel. That's what it's about. Sometimes people see events that happen as failure, and they shouldn't see it as failure. They should see it as opportunity to get better, to get stronger, to keep chasing your goals. And we've been talking about what it takes to turn fail into fuel. And I told you, step one, fine-tune your focus. When events happen that don't go just as you planned, and it's the temptation to think of it like you failed and to keep thinking about it, keep ruminating about it, let it go. Forget about it. I told you about the baseball coach that said, flush it away. Zig Ziglar had a real cool quote that he used to say. He said, yes, it's true that yesterday ended at midnight last night. And basically he's saying, forget about yesterday. Today's a new day. So fine-tune your focus on now. Learn from the past, but be ready to move forward in the present by fine-tuning your focus on exactly what the goal is, what the task is. And like Lou Holtz said, what's important now. That was step one, fine-tune your focus. Step two, understand the situation. Yesterday I told you about Colonel Sanders and all of his failures, but he kept trying. He kept understanding what was plaguing him, how his temper plagued him, and he worked on it. And he kept understanding that he had a great product and it was something that would work, and he wouldn't give up. And he turned those failures into fuel. So step two, understand your situation. Step three today, elevate your thinking. Elevate your thinking. You've got to examine the situation, examine what has happened, and then elevate your thinking. Let me give you today's example. Today's example is Henry Ford. Henry Ford, who was the founder of the Ford Motor Company, who even more of a household name than Kentucky Fried Chicken if possible. When Henry Ford first started out, he had an idea to build an automobile. And the first attempt that he made, he built this thing called the quadricycle. And it was never going to work. It was not a good invention. It was not a good design. And the people that backed him on it and put money on it gave up on it very quickly, fired him, said, that'll never work, and just walked away. He then had a second shot at it. He found some more investors. He didn't keep ruminating on that first attempt. He fine-tuned his focus on changing it up, doing something a little bit different, and keeping at it. He understood he had a good idea. He understood the scenario. And so he tried again. And this second attempt, the design wasn't good. It just wouldn't, they couldn't make it where it was efficient. It just wouldn't work. And after just a little over a year, his investors, his board, they pulled the plug and said, we're out. It's not going to work. Another failed attempt, hitting him in the face. But he didn't focus on the past. He didn't ruminate on what happened. He fine-tuned his focus on now. What's important now? He understood what it would take. And one of my favorite quotes was Henry Ford when they asked him, what was it like to have those failures and finally to have a success. And he said, failure is simply an opportunity to try again, but more intelligently. Listen to that and think about it. Failure is simply an opportunity to try again, but this time more intelligently. Henry Ford decided, what I got to do is elevate my mind. I got to elevate my thinking. I got to get smarter at this idea. And he did. And his next project ended up in what was known as the Model T, which was one of the most famous automobiles of all time. And it launched the Ford Motor Company, which, don't even need to tell you what that is still a powerhouse in the industry today, because Henry Ford would not stop. He used his failed attempts to fuel his current attempts, and he decided, I got a good idea, I just got to keep trying, but I got to be smarter, I got to do it more intelligently, I got to elevate my thinking and elevate my mind. And that's what Henry Ford did. And the rest is history. So that's step 3, turning fail into fuel. Elevate your mind, elevate your thinking, because you do have a good idea. You do have the potential. You do have the power. You do have the ability. Don't squander it. Don't waste it. Make the most of the opportunity and do it more intelligently. So let's moyo everywhere we go. And let's turn fail into fuel.